I remember when I was in college, there was this really famous food truck, and the food truck served crepes, or as the French would call it, crepes. But they were so good, and the reason they were so good is because they were filled with so much stuff and for dirt cheap. So that's like a poor college person's dream, right? Well, you can make them at home, and they're actually not that hard to do. And I remember that they had that like big stone thing, that big pan, the circular pan. You pour the batter in and you use that weird stick to swirl it around. I thought that was the only way you were allowed to make them, but turns out all you need is just a non-stick pan and a whisk. Start off by cracking 2 eggs into a large bowl. Add 1 cup of flour, one and a half cups of water, a half teaspoon of sugar for a little sweetness, and just a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. The surprising part of my crepes is that I actually add 2 tablespoons of olive oil to the batter rather than butter. Whisk, whisk, whisk until it's smooth, and make sure the batter is nice and almost paper thin. If it appears to be too thick, add more water. And if it's too thick, the batter won't spread evenly and thinly enough in the pan, so just make sure it's nice and thin. Melt some unsalted butter in the microwave and grab a brush. Heat a small non-stick pan over medium heat and brush with butter. Then grab almost a ladle full of batter and pour it right into the center with one hand while swirling the pan around in a circular motion with the other hand. Just keep swirling the pan until the batter stops moving. Then you'll know that it's ready. After a minute or two, use a rubber spatula to check to see if the edges of the crepe pulls away from the pan. When it does, it's ready to flip. And again, just use your rubber spatula or anything that you have, like a pancake spatula, to flip it over. You don't have to toss it to be all fancy and show off. The cooked side should also have brown spots. After another 30 seconds or so, the crepe is fully cooked and you can move on to the next. But make sure to brush the pan with butter between each and every crepe. Just keep stacking the cooked crepes onto the plate, and if you're not going to use them right away, cover them with a damp paper towel and saran wrap. Store them in the fridge and use them within 1 to 3 days. I personally love crepes because they're just so versatile. They're kind of like a fancy tortilla. You can just put anything you want on them. And then also, if you serve them for your guests, then they'll think that you're automatically the bomb diggity. You can find this exact recipe as well as other ideas on chefjulieyoon.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.